Hello, everybody, and welcome to the first episode of MLS Fantasy Experts. I'm Victor alongside my co host, Charlie, and
Hello.
we're here to discuss Week 18 coming up. A huge double game week here for MLS Fantasy.
First of all, we'd just like to say thank you to MLS Fantasy Boss and MLS Fantasy Night for kind of inspiring us to do this, and we just feel we can just offer some unique insight about MLS Fantasy, just stuff that they don't cover. Especially this week, since MLS Fantasy Boss is out of commission, we feel we can take some of the spotlight.
It's a really good shout out right there. So, how did your last week go, Charlie, in terms of your team?
Oh my god, I don't even want to talk. I finished on 141 for the week. It was not great. I went up 4 mil by my first week of the new season. Went up 0.4 this week. I have like literally 1/10 of what I did the first week. I think I got really screwed here with betting on the New England Revolution defense. No thanks to my fellow co-host here, who is a Revs fan. Kind of tricking me into picking Anababa on Farrell. I also had Heel, who did pay off though with a big 15. My other big letdown was Guzan at the back. I really thought that Atlanta would do more than they did, but clearly they let me down. But I was saved by a big Julio Cascante on my bench coming in for a big 14, and the captaining of Wayne Rooney, who had like 21 points, but I just checked today and they had just to 20. But it's still a big 40 from him. So and the overall rank now is 308th with a total score of 250 coming into week 18.
Alright, I can say that Atlanta definitely didn't do anyone any favors. Brandon Vasquez, 5 points. San Jose, I pretty much picked everyone on San Jose that didn't do anything. Wando, that's at you, buddy. I had Kashia, switcheroo, 16 points. And, rest of the team, Agudelo, Anibaba, didn't really help. I didn't have the big boy midfielders. I didn't have Pozuelo. I didn't have Vaco. So, yeah.
The big Vaco, the big boy midfielder. Who thought you'd be saying that coming into
Who
a
thought
couple of weeks?
who thought Vaco was even going to start both games, never mind get 36 total points. I had 140 points on the week. I have 246 total, and I'm ranked 407 overall, which is not the greatest. I'm already like 60 points off of first. We're going for first this season, and that is not the start. But
I'm just going for a top 100. You're a little.
I'm
I
going
don't
for
know about that.
I'm going for the first spot. I'm trying to win this week. We have so many games this week, so we'll be all right.
This should be a big week for differentials, considering there's how many teams on double game week? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 16 teams, is it?
I believe
No, 14
that's.
teams. I'm bad at math. 14 teams, so it's a lot of options.
I hear ya.
Speaking of options, we should get into our picks. Let's first off go to our defense and goalkeeper. I guess I will start us off in that point. And my keeper and goal is Daniel Vega going into this week. I feel like there's a lot of options in goal this week, especially with like players like Freeze, who will probably continue to start for Philadelphia, with Blake continuing to advance in the Gold Cup with Jamaica. And I have him on bench just for a hope for a price rise. But I really like Vega's matchup against this week. Minnesota, who have kind of struggled in offense.
They just scored 7 goals. They just scored 7 goals.
Other than that game against Cincinnati, and we do not count Cincinnati as a real team in MLS.
That is unfair.
And we have RSL away, who got a bit of a strange record away compared to at home, where they're a lot more inconsistent. Then we go to the back. I have Struna from Houston. I really like their matchup against Cincinnati away, who clearly we've just seen are not the best opposition. And New York Red Bulls, who I think still are a little inconsistent in the offense. I don't really trust a team with Brian White as their starting striker, taking Bradley Wright Phillips' spot.
Wright Phillips is on the bench.
Which is, I don't know what's going on in New York. And then I got Miles Robinson in the back. He had 10 points last week, despite Atlanta not having a great week defensively. But Miles Robinson consistently is good for bonus points with those passes that he racks up. And I think he'll most likely play both games, but careful on that. Make sure Pogba is not in the defense or Parkhurst is not in his position. And then those are my two starters. I have a 4 mil scrub for a switcheroo at the back. as well. And then on my bench here we go to I have my first pick, which I think is super sneaky, is Tristan Blackman from LAFC. Just 4.5. Zimmerman's still under national duty. He's been starting, whether that be at right back or center back. LAFC seemed just super short-handed at the back with Da Silva also being listed as injured. And he does have a hamstring injury, which usually takes a couple of weeks to come back from. So I think he'll be probably a guaranteed starter for both games at just 4.5. For an LAFC player, that's just incredible. He's also been averaging good points with getting that passing bonus, especially last week playing at center back, where he probably will play again. Then my last defender I've got is Hassani Dotson from Minnesota.
Oh.
He's yeah, I know it's a sneaky one, huh? He's
Oh.
been offering a lot of points offensively, whether that be goals or assists, especially last couple of weeks against Cincinnati. He had a goal, and he had a goal a couple weeks ago too. Just been incredibly consistent, as well as being listed as a defender to get those clean sheet bonuses. His first match is home to San Jose, which I am not sure about at all. I can see that going either way. But then he plays away to Montreal, who just barely scraped by my beloved Timbers 2-1 against their very much backup team.
They're still third in the East.
They're still just third in the East somehow, but the East is a shambles. But that completes my defense. But in terms of clean sheet options, I really like just Philadelphia, considering they play Orlando twice. LAFC's not bad. They've been just solid defensively all year. And I have Houston as my third defensive team to pick from. That's why I have Struna.
All right, so I have Willis in goal. No real reason. No real reason. I don't see them getting a clean sheet in either match.
Good job picking it.
Cincinnati, they're gonna score. They're gonna score one stupid goal, and they're gonna lose 4-1 against Houston. New York Red Bulls just somehow find a goal. You know, they'll get an Amro Tarek header. You know, I also
So far your defense has completely against, like, you're completely just saying bad stuff about the players you're picking.
pretty much I have Adam Lundqvist as my switcheroo on the bench. Purely because he's gonna play twice. Beasley got hurt last game. Struna wasn't even in the 18. Maybe that means he'll play twice, but he wasn't in the 18 on Saturday, so you never know with him. I also have Nada Manuaha, Columbus. RSL play Columbus. Columbus. This is a Patrick Mullins-led Columbus.
J.J. Williams right now.
Oh, this is... I mean, what else do you need to say about Columbus right now?
Who would you say is worse between Columbus and Cincinnati?
Right now, I'd love to see that 0-0 playoff, because that has 0-0 all over it. RSL also play at San Jose. They're not keeping a clean sheet there. That's not happening. I'm just hoping Anuaha keeps a clean sheet against Columbus. I have Kim Ki-hee. He's very expensive. And again, I'm betting against Columbus. It's a common theme here. Columbus at home. It doesn't matter if they're home or away.
You're going 2 away matches. I am not sure about that at all.
You know, this is scheduled to change with the lineups, of course. I also have Eddie Segura. I like the Blackman play. I also don't see LAFC keeping a clean sheet either way. I'm just hoping Segura gets some defensive bonus points. You get 5 and 5, that gets 10. That's a good week in my book from a defender. So yeah, that's pretty much it for my defense. Some other clean sheet options other than Houston and Real Salt Lake, I don't see many. I really don't.
Fair. I agree.
Like San Jose, I mean, Atlanta maybe against Chicago, but it's hard to tell.
Also, disclaimer: if we do talk bad about your team, especially Cincinnati or Columbus, take no offense. We're just looking at the results here, and they have just not been playing well. I'm sorry if you take offense to that.
You should take full offense if you're a Columbus fan. They are very bad. They have about 10,000 people at every game.
Oh my God! Stop.
So
Please.
maybe Columbus fans, I'm sorry for you. You may have got saved, but the results aren't showing it. All right, let's move to the midfielders. I have 4 midfielders. My first one on the bench, switcheroo from Houston. a cheap one because I had no money left. Matias Vera. Uh, I'm just hoping he gets 4 and 4 in each game. See how he does off the bench. I don't see how he's gonna get any points really, but
You're assuming he's playing both games too.
I know he's playing both games.
You
Wait,
don't think Sayon or Cabezas are getting two?
I think they can all get 2.
Okay.
I know Mr. Vera's playing both games. If I have to, oh, I can't even afford Cabezas, but if I had to, I would go with Seren anyways.
And Boniek Garcia's on the team too, by the way.
Yeah. All right, so I'm going big here. For now, Atuesta, 11 mil. You have to go for him. This guy is a points machine. This guy gets points, 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 and more points. I don't care if he's playing at Sporting Kansas City. I don't care if he's playing at Philadelphia. This guy will get you at least 6. This guy is unreal in the center. My second pick is Damir Kreilach. This is an interesting one. If I had the
For
money,
real.
I would go with Rusnak. I don't have the money. I don't. The strikers are too good. Uh, Krylock, he's just a weird player. He could play striker this week. Who knows? He could play striker. He could play next to Beckerman. He could play the number 10. It doesn't matter. He'll get me at least 10 points. I'm starting him this week. And I have to go with the man who is absolutely on fire, Mr. Vaco. This guy is unbelievable. When he's on. Only 7 million, pretty much guaranteed a price rise. It can't get much better than Vaco.
All right. I actually have very similar picks to you in a lot of positions. I do have at Twesty, though I wouldn't mind if you don't pick him this week. He's 11 million. That's a lot of cash to spend, especially on a midfield who does not offer. He gets out a lower boom than I think a lot of other players around his price do. Being a more defensive player, he will get those consistent like 8s, 10s, 11s, maybe. He gets a couple of assists, but that's gonna be hard to do against away Kansas City and home Vancouver, who are also very rigid in defense. So just take some caution with Atuesta, although I do have him. Next up, I also have Vaco.
Yeah.
Once again, he's very cheap. He's guaranteed price rise. Minnesota's not great. RSL could be good, but it's worth risking. And I also have another San Jose midfielder pairing up with him is Magnus Eriksson.
I knew that was coming. I sensed it.
Yeah, he's been phenomenal as well. He was very good last week as well. As most of San Jose's players were. I thought though he had a lot of bonus points too, which surprised me since traditionally I never think a passing midfielder, but he really did that playing the number 10 role instead of playing on the right last week. And then rounding off my midfield, I have Jamiro Montero. He's just been incredibly consistent. Orlando, I still don't trust really. They also have really weird rotations during the double game week with Dylan Powers exclusively playing double game week. Games will not be in the 18 for the rest of their games. But I also would like to put in a couple of honorable mentions that I've been thinking about putting in there. The first is Jan Gregus from Minnesota. He's been incredibly consistent, the set piece taker. I think Minnesota probably have the best double game week. If they were just more consistent of a team, I'd go all in on them.
Wow.
But Graves is also 9 million, so just too much to spend on a defensive midfielder, even if he's a set piece taker. Why don't we go into the forwards now?
So you don't want Maxi Morales and you don't want Ladero.
Ooh, yeah, Maxi Morales and Ladero. Okay, once again, I don't like.
Wait, Ladero actually can't play. Oh, wait, he might be back.
He's back.
Oh, but Morales on the 11.5, you don't want him?
11.5. I'm a Timbers fan, and they play us, and I hate betting against them, as well as Seattle, who are very good. I hate to admit, but I don't know. I hate those matchups. I do not trust any of any NYCFC players this week, but probably just my bias showing. So I don't mind that pick. If you have him over at Tuesta, I would mind that one bit. They're one of the other teams that double home game, as well as Kansas City, who also have a difficult matchup.
Yeah, I wouldn't.
Home LAFC.
I would not pick any defenders on either of those teams, because
I thought about Sinovic briefly for Kansas City.
Uh, Sinovic against LAFC. Mm.
Yeah, exactly. He's not in my team now for a reason.
All right, forwards. Would you like to start us off?
Sure. I think we'll just go one play at a time here. My first striker, I think, is my sneaky option. It's Kasper Shabilko from the Philadelphia Union. He has been on fire recently and kind of pairing up with Jamiro Montero, getting the goals to his assist. Orlando, I don't think are very good. Shabilko, it's been very good. So just everything just seems like he's ready to score.
All right.
I have my bench though, by the way, though, in an auto. I don't have the balls to start him.
I have as my extremely sneaky pick, as the viewers can see here, Mr. Sam Johnson. I'm going for it. I'm going for it. That's a differential pick. 7.6 mil. He scored twice on the weekend. He could start both games here. Because if Mike Pecky benches him after scoring twice, I don't understand. I had Tati Castellanos in there until I saw Mr. Sam Johnson. Castellanos is still a valid shout with Hebert out, and the fact that Castellanos won 2 penalties and scored twice last Saturday.
Yeah, that's interesting pick. I don't mind that. Next I have Josef Martinez. He is coming back from international duty, so there is a chance he won't play, but I'm willing to take that risk. Just make sure you monitor lineups before the game. But he did not get much playing time for Venezuela, and I think that'll be the type of thing that motivates Josef to be more impressive for Atlanta. And he's just been banging in the goals recently. He had a bit of a slower start to the season, but now I think he's all ready to go. Chicago Fire are not great defensively. Red Bulls you don't know what to expect from them, but I see Martinez goal fest coming in for these couple of games.
I think we're going to have 2 similar other picks. I also have Josef Martinez. If he doesn't start, however, I think I will be going with Quintero. The lineups come out at the same time, so you can switch them if you have to, but for now it's Josef Martinez.
Quintero didn't score, by the way, and Minnesota winning 7-1 against Cincinnati. Quintero 0, despite 2 assists, but still 0 goals.
Yeah, he's not playing as an out-and-out striker anymore, is he?
And then the last pick, I think everybody knows who it is. It is Carlitos Vela. He's not had the best game week last week, but he's just too good not to have in, isn't he? And 11.5 is very cheap for a player of his caliber, considering he finished 14 point something by the end of last season. I thought having him at 12 was super low to even start with this season. So I think he's just no brainer.
I also have Carlos Vela, as I'm sure it will come as a surprise to everyone listening. Carlos Vela is a must-have, although I must admit I'm not the biggest Carlos Vela fan. I think he's overrated. He had 3 points last week against Colorado, and I know Colorado have been unbeaten in a month, maybe more. But, I just don't feel confident on Carlos Vela, especially that game against Vancouver. That is 0-0 sneaky all over it.
I want to add just a couple of honorable mentions too. I'm looking at Albert Ellis, especially. I think I had a hard time passing, but just because the other just great striker options this week, I don't have him in my team. But he's got high potential to do something good against the Red Bulls and away to Cincinnati. He could get the hat trick there easily. But I wouldn't mind that option, especially if you want more of a differential pick. He'll be less picked than Martinez and Vela. I wouldn't mind him. And another guy I want to talk about is San Jose's new signing, Fierro. And I'm wondering if he'll end up taking some time away from the San Jose players like Baco and Eriksson. What are your thoughts on?
I don't know if he can play.
Is he not eligible?
I don't know if he can play. I'm pretty sure it's July 9th. I could be wrong.
Okay, well,
but
there's something to think about in the future then.
But San Jose are probably gonna have to rotate with 4 games in 10 days. So
that's very good point.
I
just don't know who's gonna. Salinas might get a game, but I don't see how you put Bach or Eriksson on the bench the way they're playing.
Yeah, a team that's outscored their opponents 5-0 their last two games. I would keep the same lineup. Uh, my honorable mentions: Matrica from NYCFC. He's just a weird player, though. He's sneaky. And Nemanja Nikolic. He has two, I guess, favorable matchups: home against Atlanta, haven't kept a
Ugh.
clean sheet in a week, in SKC, who couldn't defend me and you. Uh, so I think Nikolic could be a sneaky differential pick this week.
Yeah, that's a big thing this week, especially just the differentials. You gotta separate yourself from the big packs. There's only like 4 or 5 points making up like 200 to 300 or something. It's not much of a difference between these spots right now, between these early days in the season. You want to finish off with our captain pick? You want to start it?
Uh, this might come as a bit of a shock. I'm going to captain Eddie Segura. Just kidding. Just kidding. I'm going to go Carlos Vela. I think everyone, including my co-host here, and I mean everyone, all 30,000 people playing, are going to have Carlos Vela captain this week. And there's going to be someone that breaks out, and they're going to be dancing for joy, but Carlos Vela's my captain.
He's mine as well, but I'm not sure about it. Vancouver are a difficult team to play against. Kansas City away, I think another trap match. I could see them bunkering even at home.
If you were, who are
If
you?
I was to captain somebody else,
Yeah, who would you captain?
Vaca. He's been on fire.
Vaca.
Minnesota, San Jose is going to be a goal fest, I think. San Jose, RSL. Well, you said RSL's not great away. And that would be the differential pick I'd make, but I'm in no mood
You're
to
no mood to captain
fall behind
Vaco.
that much. I don't want to. If you don't captain Bell and he pops off, you're dropping 400 places.
That is true. Now, if I had the money, I would captain Maxi Morales. He's been on fire. However, I don't have the money. I would captain Krylock. I'm not kidding here. This guy, he's just a weird player. He is just a weird player. You know, he had 12 points last week, and he didn't do anything. He caught 12 points, you know, and
He had a goal.
no,
He had-
nope.
he had
Sam
2 assists,
Johnson,
didn't he had 2 assists.
he had 2 assists. Neither of them I don't think were his. I think they were both secondary assists. However, if you look, he gets at least 3 points a game. He's had one game where he's had 2 and one game where he got a red card. But other than that, he's had at least 3 or 4 points every game. And if he gets, even if he gets 2 or 3 or 4 points in 2 games, I'll take it. I'm not kidding here.
He's got Severino coming back too, another player to provide.
Another person for him to pass it to. Krylak Sam Johnson could be the move this week. I feel like RSL. I don't think many people are going to pick RSL people, and that's going to be their mistake.
Start, yeah, I like that. So yeah, that's been our first week of the MLS Fantasy Experts. We use experts very loosely. We are not doing too well. Hopefully, we'll come back though. But we just felt we could just give some more insight and continue giving just more information about MLS Fantasy.
I couldn't have said it better myself. Hopefully, you guys enjoyed this one. Make sure you smash a like. Hopefully, we'll see you next week.